Welcome back to 2 Minute Tuesdays. I'm really sorry, but I'm full of cold this week, so if I sound a bit stuffy, then you know why. This is episode 16, and we're talking about API Gateway. So let's get 2 minutes on the clock, somewhere up here, and let's go. Let's start with what an API is. Imagine you went to a restaurant. Now, you can't order literally anything. What you have to do is look at the menu, which gives us all the options, so that when we put in our order, we know that the kitchen are going to take it, and we're not going to have a problem. An API is kind of like that menu. It gives us a way of communicating with the kitchen where we know that they'll accept our request and they'll give us something back. APIs are methods of communication between two programs. Now, you may not know it, but you use APIs all the time. For example, when you click repost on this video, you're calling an API to reshare it. Why don't you give it a go? Other examples include, for example, when you buy something online and you put in your card details and click buy, that sends an API call to the payment processor to securely handle that transaction. Spotify have APIs that allow developers to use Spotify within their application. So, for example, I can control my Spotify music without leaving Google Maps if I'm in my car. Or if you log into your bank account, that will most likely send an API call to go and retrieve your balance from a database somewhere. So how does this relate to AWS? Well, with API Gateway, you can build APIs so that you can connect together your applications. This can include authentication and authorization of your API. You can monitor and log the ways that APIs are used, and then the type of API and its functionality. Now, the most common type is what we call REST APIs, representational state transfer. These include a selection of different operations, such as get, or post, or put, or delete. You can go and Google those later. And these allow you to interact specifically with other services, for example, databases. And then information is returned in various formats like JSON or HTML or other things. I made a little API a little while ago in API Gateway that when I went to a specific web address, what it did, it triggered a Lambda function that started any EC2 instances that had a very specific tag. And so you can link APIs with other serverless services like Lambda or starting a step function or something. They are fundamental in allowing services to communicate with each other. So that's it, we're done, that's API Gateway. There's obviously a whole lot more that can be said about them. It's a big old topic, but as always, this is just the top level overview. So thank you for joining me again. As always, as I mentioned, if you're happy to share it with anyone who'd find it helpful, I appreciate that. There's a link below to all of my 2 Minute Tuesday videos that I've got on YouTube and a little playlist. So if you want the old ones, take a look at that. Next week, we're going to start a little journey into databases, and we're going to begin with DynamoDB, AWS's non-relational database service. So have a brilliant week, and I look forward to seeing you next time.